Okay guys, Mr. Kruger here working on trail marker 2. This is the review version. First question, write the equation of a line. So you need a slope and a y-intercept. So if you look, I've already written the slope formula. So now all we're going to do is plug that slope, or the coordinates into the slope formula. y2, which is 2, minus a negative 2, which is y1. And then x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is 1. And let's simplify. Remember that a double negative, subtracting of a negative, turns into addition. So 2 plus 2 gives you 4, and then 3 minus 1 gives you 2. If you can simplify the slope, please do so. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So that's my slope. So now I have y equals, I'm going to do some work over here. Now I have y equals, 2 is my slope, x plus b. So I'll pick a point. Either one works. I'm going to take the first one. So negative 2 is going to go in for y. I have my slope of 2 still. And positive 1 is going to go in for my x plus b. Solve for b. Negative 2 equals positive 2 plus b. I got to subtract 2 from both sides to get b by itself. If I do that, I now have a negative 4, which is equal to b. So my final equation is y equals 2x, because that was my slope 2, minus 4. Okay, take a look. Question number 2. Let f of x equal 2x plus 6 and evaluate f of negative 5. If you notice, the negative 5 is inside the parentheses, so it's an input. So it's going in for x. Okay, where you see x on the left side is the notation, and then where you see x on the right side is actually what you're going to simplify. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10, plus 6, which is negative 4. If you want full credit, please give me full notation. Input of negative 5 gives me an output of negative 4. Okay, question 3. f of x equals 3x plus 7. Solve for x if f of x equals 19. So we don't know x, but we know the output is 19. So I'm going to replace this f of x with 19, and I'm going to have to solve for that input. Okay, so it's negative 3x plus 7. Now we got to solve for x. Subtract 7 from both sides, so I get 12 equals negative 3x. Divide both sides by negative 3. Get x by itself, and I get negative 4 equals x. If you want full credit, please give me that full notation. F of negative 4, except the input we solved for, gives you an output of 19. Okay, question 4. Let me just move this out of the way. Solve the following system. Y equals negative 3x plus 5, and then the other equation is 5x minus 4y equals negative 3. Well, I already have solved y by itself, so I can plug that in for y. So I'm going to rewrite that second equation, and I'm going to plug in negative 3x plus 5 in for that y, and now I got to solve for x. Distribute that 4, so I get 5x minus, but it's a negative 4 times a negative 3, so this makes it a positive 12, and negative 4x times 5, which is a negative 20, which equals negative 3. Combine like terms, and I get 17x. I'm going to add 20 to both sides, so I get a positive 17. Divide both sides by 17, and I get x equals 1. So now that you have the x value, you got to plug it into the top equation, or the bottom. Either one works to solve for y. So I get y equals negative 3 times 1, and plus 5. Simplify that, so I get y equals negative 3 plus 5. Y equals a positive 2. So please write your coordinate as your final answer, 1, 2, and that's your final answer. Okay, question 5. Solve the following equation for x. Equation of variables on both sides. So move the x's to one side, so I'm going to add 3x to the left, so I get 8x plus 3 equals 19. Subtract 3 from both sides, so I can get the constants to the other. I get 8x equals 16. Divide by 8 on both sides, and I get x equals 2. There you go. Question 6. Solve the following equation for x. Distribute that negative 2, because you see it outside the parentheses. Negative times a negative equals a positive 8x. Negative 2 times a positive 2 equals a negative 4 equals 28. Add 4 to both sides so we can get the variable by itself. So we get 32, and divide by 8, and we get x equals 4. Good job, guys. Here we go. Number 7, solve the following equation. Well, it looks like elimination because the x's are lined up, the y's are lined up, and the constants, so let's add down. X's eliminate, and I'm left with 9y, which is 5y plus 4y, is equal to a negative 9, because you add down. Divide by 9, y equals a negative 1. Good start. Now let's plug it back in to solve for x. So I'm going to use the bottom equation, just because I like positive numbers. And I'm going to do 4 times a negative 1, because I'm plugging negative 1 in for y. So I get 6x minus 4 equals negative 10. Add 4 to both sides, so I get plus 4 plus 4. 6x equals negative 6, divided by 6, and I get x equals negative 1. The final point is negative 1 comma negative 1. There you go. Question 8. Simplify the following expression. Combine your like terms. I'm going to start with my x squared. It's negative 2x squared plus 5x squared is a 3x squared. Now I look for my x's. X minus 3x is negative 2x. And then my constants. 4 minus 6 is negative 2. Okay, last two questions. Now look at the exponent property. We just learned this. The 3 needs to be distributed to both terms, the coefficient and the x. So I get 2 to the third, and I get x squared to the third. Well, 2 to the third gives me 8. 2 times 2 times 2. And x squared, remember, if it's a power to a power, we multiply the exponents. So 2 times 3 gives me 6. Last problem, graph the equation. Start with the y-intercept, which is 3 on the y-axis. And then the slope is negative 2, but remember we want to write it as a fraction. So I'm going to go down 2 to the right one, down 2 to the right one, and connect your points, and there you go. I don't know why there we go, I can move that negative 2, x minus 4 out of the way. Here's our trail marker, guys. You can do this. We got two functions, we got writing equations, solving two equations, simplifying two systems, a graph, and then one exponent property. Good luck, guys.